WSJ, the Wall Street Journal report.
On the second front page, we'll take you on a ride in a Rent-A-Wreck. It's the low rent enter the car rental business, proving there's profit in clunkers.
Stories behind the headlines. Produced and edited by the Wall Street Journal. On WSJ, the Wall Street Journal report.
When we come back, getting there on the cheap. Say rent-a-car and names like Hertz or Avis or Budget come to mind. But increasingly, people are thinking Rent-A-Wreck. It's the upstart of the auto rental business, and it's carving out a new market, often in places the majors forgot. Ian Hunter reports.
Let's face it, cars are status symbols. But when you get right down to it, none of us really drives a new car. As soon as it leaves the showroom, it's well on its way to being used.
The theory is that we drive a used car. If our car's in the shop being repaired, right, we don't mind renting a used car if we can save some money, and that's it. That's how it started.
It is Rent-A-Wreck. It began with a $5,000 investment in 1977. Today, it's a publicly traded company with a market capitalization of $5 million, 350 franchise offices, and a fleet of 9,000 vehicles, many renting for half the price of the majors. It also has a name few can forget. And depending on where you go, Rent-A-Wreck will rent you everything from a new or near-new car to a genuine used car to a van or truck, and even some exotics. Try this late 60s Caddy limo on for size, just the thing for taking an economy-sized family on a tour of Southern California. Today, Rent-A-Wreck stars its cars in its own mini TV productions.
Mother Burke's in town for a month. Her son-in-law suggested Budget. Mother Burke called Rent-A-Wreck.
And believe it or not, this same 68 Mercury Cougar is a real Rent-A-Wreck rental. And even though it's January here in Beverly Hills, it's convertible time. But the real flavor of Rent-A-Wreck is not to be found in the gilded surroundings of Rodeo Drive in Southern California. Rather, it's here in places such as Cherry Hill, New Jersey.
Rent-A-Wreck.
This is the franchise that Howard Kermsey built. No flashy airport counters here, and few rentals to traveling businessmen.
Our business, au contraire, is essentially the individual who needs a car to drive back and forth to work on a local basis. Our interpretation of the business here is that it is a neighborhood business.
Kermsey should know. He spent almost 2 decades with Hertz before going into business on his own. Today, he has a fleet of 108 vehicles, most of them rebuilt Chevy Novas.
Once we remanufacture them completely, from the wheel bearings on up with new Delco Bendix parts, we repaint and reupholster them. They are not really 69 to 78 Novas. They're 83, 84 Rent-A-Wreck models.
But the queen of the fleet is the Queen, a late 60s Rolls.
We operate the car and rent it for weddings primarily, and we serve champagne and a rose to the bride and groom.
For Kermsey, the Rolls is a memorial to high profits, which have been running over 23% so far this fiscal year. I'm Ian Hunter for the Wall Street Journal Report.